dear children, girls and boys, parents and friends. So today I have been invited because this Hiruna and Sanari's grandpa has passed away 4 years ago, and so we are doing this Dhamma session in order to pass merits to those past relatives. Alright? And also not only to the past relatives, so we are hoping to bless all of you, all our children and the parents, so that we can receive these merits and be happy and well. Right? So it is a nice occasion, a very good occasion that this auntie and uncle has started, so that we can have a Dhamma session, so you all can listen to Dhamma and then practice the Dhamma. By listening to Dhamma, we all can practice the Dhamma that the Buddha has taught. Alright? So I would like to see everyone sitting nicely with their hands in their laps. Sit up nice and straight. Sit up nice and straight, because when you sit up nice and straight, then you can listen well, isn't it? That's how we do at school. Now here also, because we are talking about triple gem, we are talking about triple gem. So you know what does it mean by triple gem? Gem is regarded as a valuable thing, isn't it? So we are talking about the triple gem, Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. So you have to listen attentively and try to retain things, remember things, so that when you go back, so that you can recall, reflect on the Dhamma that we have learned, and then you can practice them. Alright? Okay. So, and I like to see everyone following instructions. I don't like people when they look at each other, talk with each other, because I think that's very rude. And also, when you do that, that shows that you have no respect for the triple gem, the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. So when the Dhamma is being preached, you have to show a great respect to the Dhamma, and then only you can understand the Dhamma. When you have the faith in the Dhamma, when you have faith, or we call it the confidence, then you can understand well. Alright? So now you have taken the precepts, so you are in a good condition to understand the Dhamma. Okay? So first of all, I will begin with the parents. Let's see what the Buddha spoke about the parents. The Buddha said, now this comes in the Itivuttaka Pali, it's a commentary. The Buddha says, Brahmati Mata Pitaro Pubba Chariyecha Uttare. What does that mean? Brahmati Mata Pitaro. So Buddha says, your parents are like Brahma. Your parents are like Brahma. Do you know who Brahma is? Who is Brahma? You don't know. Okay. So now we have these human beings, and also we have celestial beings. So celestial beings are born according to their karma. We are also born as humans according to the karma that we have performed. So there are celestial beings in the higher realms, and there are gods, the devas we call them. Have you heard of devas? Gods. And also the god of the god is Brahma. He is the highest in the higher realm. Right? So Brahma has a very high value. So let us see what this Brahma is. Right? Now the Brahma, according to the Buddha's teaching, according to the Brahma Viharas, you must have heard the 4 abiding states of mind. They are called Brahma Vihara. The Brahma has great 4 qualities. Very good qualities. They are called the qualities of the heart. Right? What are they? So the first one, those who come for SILF programs and those who come to Dhamma school, I'm pretty sure that they know the meanings of these. So the first one is loving kindness. So, and also the second one is compassion. So loving kindness is a quality that you show towards your best friend. You know, when the kind of friendship that you have towards your very good friend, very best friend, that quality is what we call loving kindness, right? And the second one is compassion. When someone is having difficulty, when someone is in, having trouble, so you help that person, right? So to elevate that difficulty, to that problem. So keep your eyes listening this way, listening well with your hands in your lap, then you can understand well, right? So the Brahma, because that's the second quality. The third quality is joy for others. So can be happy for others' happiness just as yours. Can you do that? You can be happy for others just as yours. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's easy. Okay? So young people can do it really well. Very good. So we have to develop these qualities. The fourth one is equanimity. Equanimity is a balanced state of mind where you don't go nice this way, where you don't shake during ups and downs, right? So when you have gains and losses, sometimes you get upset, no? When you have happiness and unhappiness, then do we have a balanced state of mind? When we are unhappy, don't we cry? Do we cry? Yes or no? You cry, don't you? Yeah. And when we are very happy, we are overwhelmed by them. So now these Brahma qualities, these are the 4 qualities. Now here the Buddha says, your parents have these qualities for their own children. Now let us see whether they really do have those qualities for you, right? See, loving kindness. Do they really love you? No? More than any other? Yes. So that is perfect, isn't it? So parents love their children very well, really well. And then there's no doubt about it. Some people, 1 or 2 might do, but all parents, they do. They really love their children. Then compassion. So when you are sick, when you have trouble, when you have difficulties, do they feel sorry for you? Yes, I know some parents, even they stay up in the night when their children are sick. They don't sleep throughout the night. So they have their compassion. And then the joy for you. Aren't they happy for you when you have gains? Yeah, they have that. They are very good at that, don't they? So then equanimity. So they have a balanced state of mind. When you have older brothers and younger sisters and many children, different levels of age, their love is the same, isn't it? They can show equal love to them. So now see, now this love and compassion is only for their own children. But some parents can give it to others too. Many can give the same kind of love to everyone. Now see, these are very special 4 skills, special qualities of the heart, right? So now this is the quality that Brahma has developed and the gods have developed. But we don't have them that much. That's why we've been born as humans, right? So these 4 qualities we have to develop in order to practice this Brahma Viharas. And now we know what Brahma is. Now the Vihara is a dwelling place. It's a place where we call the Vihara. Brahma Vihara means Vihara is what is? Do you know what Vihara is? What is Vihara? I'm asking you. Don't know? Have you been to a temple? Do you know pagoda? 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 You haven't? You don't know. Right. Vihara is pagoda. So we keep this Buddha's relics and Arahats relics in the pagoda because that's a safe place. And that's kept forever. It's a very safe and a good place. So Brahma Vihara, so Buddha says these qualities should be in us like a vihara, like it is kept in that should be kept always. They should dwell in our heart forever. Alright? Do you understand that? So now these parents, so now that is why the Buddha says that when you treat your parents well, when you look after them when they are old, right? And you treat them well, you gain a lot of merits. Do you know what merits are? Put your hand up, those who know what merits are. You know, okay. So those students who come to the Dhamma school, they know what merits are, what is good and what is bad. Kusal and akusal, right? So merits are, you know, we human beings, we have to accumulate these merits because you understand the cause and effect in your life. You know what cause and effects? If you do something good will happen in return. If you do something wrong, what will happen? Do you get good results? You get bad results because you have to understand it yourself in your own life, in your own practice. You have to see whether if you had said something really wrong to a friend, using some harsh words or bad words, do you think you'll get good results? Nobody will like you, isn't it? Nobody would want to be your friend. So it's just like that. So you can see the consequences then and there. Right? So now if you do something with a bad mind, evil mind, so that is what we call akusal, or cause is the thing that you did and effect is what you gain after that. Right? That follows you. I will talk to you more about that little later. Right? I don't know whether it's too much for them. Okay? Alright? So now here the Buddha says Brahmati Mata Pitaro. Okay, so here the Buddha says the first one is the Brahma. Now I'm going to ask you questions, right? So keep listening very carefully. So the first one is Brahma. Then he said the Brahmati Mata Pitaro. They are your first teachers. Is that true? Are they your first teachers? No? Goodness, you don't know about your parents. They haven't taught you anything?
Yeah.
That's what it's meant by teachers. Right? So Buddha says, Pubbacharyecha uttare. Pubbacharyecha means they are your first teachers. They taught you how to eat. They taught you how to dress. They taught you even how to go use the toilet, didn't they? Huh? Yes. So your parents, so that is why the Buddha says, so that's very important for you to know that. Right? So they are your first teachers. Before your school teachers started teaching you, they have taught you a lot of things in life. You see? Alright? Okay. And then Poshaka. The Buddha says they are the Poshaka means main feeders. They are the main feeders. What does it mean by that? They feed you. They do a hard living. They earn money to feed you. So they feed you really well. Whatever that they can give you, the best they give to the children, don't they? Sometimes parents, when they have few things, sometimes they just give it to the children. Now you see, you have to remember these things. And then Poshaka. So the next one is, they teach you how to enter into the world. How do you enter into the world? They teach you etiquettes. They teach you what is good and right. They teach you how to behave well. And they teach you the religion, most of all, you know. And then they teach you ethics. And so the parents are the greatest. So in a little stanza and I like to recite it with you. It says, I'll say it in Sinhalese. I don't know whether you know it. You understand Sinhala, right? It says, Maupiyo Utummaya. Right? It's in the Sirit Maldama. Apage pera devi valuya. Apa rakinu omaya. Vadimu maupiya dedena mahimaya. Now in English it says, parents are the noblest. They are our former gods. They protect and nurture us. We salute the majesty of the parents. So now that comes in a traditional book called Sirik Maldama. See how beautiful that is, right? So when we were young, before we go to school, we used to salute our parents, you know. How many of you do that? Put your hand up if you are a person. Oh, very good. So you must respect your parents, and then not only respect, put your hands down, very good. Not only respecting your parents, you also must listen to them, right? So you salute them, you listen to them, and that shows that you have no pride in you when you listen to them, because most of the time we don't want to listen to people because we have this ego. When we have the ego, we cannot get to many things. So you must be humble. So, and to your parents, and listen to whatever they say. So this way, when you look at the wholesomeness of your parents to their own children, that means when you respect them and when they are older, when you treat them well and when you look after them, that gives you a lot of, one thing is happiness and the other thing is you earn a lot of merits. That is why, because of this reason, you earn a lot of merits. Right? So now that is about parents, about the parents, and I hope that is enough. Now the next one, the story that I would like to talk to you is about the Samanera Bhikkhu Rahula. How many of you have learned about Bhikkhu Rahula? Do you know who Bhikkhu Rahula was? No? Just one? Do you know? No? Okay. So this little Bhikkhu Rahula was the son of Prince Siddhartha, the Buddha's son, Rahula. Or we call him Venerable Rahula. Right? So I'm telling this little story because you all are young children. So now Bhikkhu Rahula's stories help us to learn a lot of good things. Right? So Bhikkhu Rahula, he was Prince Siddhartha's son. And when, for the first time, when Buddha visited his hometown, this little Rahula, Prince Rahula, was years old and he hadn't seen his father until that day. So this little Rahula, he was a very, very beautiful prince. So Princess Yasodhara came to know that the Buddha is visiting the hometown. Who was Yasodhara? Yeah? Prince Siddhartha's wife, right? Good. She was trying to think. Okay, so Princess Yasodhara saw Buddha coming with about 20,000 monks, his disciples. That's the first time he's coming to Kimbulwakura. So then the little Rahula doesn't know anything. He was like one of these little young ones. So the mother said, look, see that beautiful prince. He was such a beautiful person. Look at him now. He's now coming with all those monks. And now you better go after him. And you better ask him for his wealth. So now the mother is teaching him, right? Because Rahula didn't have a father until he had a father but didn't see him. And so he went and he tried to touch the Buddha. So what the Buddha did was he gave one finger. So he was holding Buddha's finger, this little boy. Right? Now he's trying to tell everything what his mother said. Now he's saying, can you give me your wealth? I understand my mother said that you have so much wealth. So please, and I would like to inherit all what you've got. And the little one keeps saying. So Buddha didn't utter a word. So what he did was, when he went back to his monastery, so little Rahula also went behind him. So then now, because he's asking for his wealth and he's asking for all his inheritance, now the Buddha thinks, I must give the best for him. Right? So he thinks, I must give the best. What do you think the Buddha would give him? Yeah?
To make him a monk?
Yeah, that's the best he can give. Why do you think that's the best he can give? Why do you think becoming a monk is the best for him? Yeah?
So he learns more.
He learns more, yes.
Gets good merits.
Gets good merits, yes. What else? It's okay, you can tell.
He reaches Nibbana.
It's a Nibbana, very good. And the bliss of Nibbana, that is the best. So Buddha valued Nibbana above this lay life, right? So Buddha didn't value lay life much because the reason is people suffer. People suffer in this samsara. You know what samsara is? Old age, sickness and dying. Then again you are reborn. Then again old age. Then you fall sick and you die. So throughout the samsara, people suffer so much. There is no happiness. Even though these young people think there is so much happiness everywhere, there is no such happiness. Because the moment the happiness fades away as soon as it finishes. You know, the sensual pleasures that what people think they are good, that make them happy, they vanishes. So now, so the Buddha thinks this is the best I can give to little Rahula, right? Okay, now you know a little about Venerable Rahula. So now what the Buddha did was he asked Venerable Sariputta, his great disciple, to ordain him. Right? So Venerable Rahula was wearing a robe like me, but he was just like little. And it is said that he was very obedient, a very good student of the Buddha. So Venerable Rahula became father twice to Buddha. Once by birth and the second time by being a monk. Right? So he was so fortunate. So one day, Buddha visiting after about, I think when Venerable Rahula was about 11 years, now Buddha visited, he wanted to go and see him. So he came walking, and when he came to the Arama, quickly Venerable Rahula went and poured some water to the pot so that he wanted to wash his feet, the way you all did when I arrived there now. Because in India at that time, the monks didn't wear slippers and they used to walk, they didn't have cars. So now, because the feet are dirty, they have to wash their feet and walk inside. So Venerable Rahula poured water, and then when the Buddha came and sat, he saluted the Buddha and sat aside. And then now there was a little cup inside the basin, now as you all did, to pour the water, right? So when Venerable, now the Buddha half filled the little cup, and now he is showing Venerable Rahula. Now listen to this, this is a very good story, right? So half filled cup, the Buddha is showing and asking Venerable Rahula, Rahula, what is a mirror for? Now that's the first question. What is a mirror for? Now if I ask you, can you tell me what is a mirror for? Only always 2 or 3 hands up here. People at the back, when do you use a mirror? Don't you use mirrors?
Yeah.
You do? Why do you use a mirror?
So I can see
Yeah?
reflection.
To see your reflection. Okay, good. So that you can see yourself. So similarly, Buddha says, yes, Rahula, that is very good. But the same way you have to reflect yourself. Reflect your body, your thought, your mind, and also your actions. Right? Then he said, Now he's showing the half-filled cup and he's showing and asking Rahula, Venerable Rahula, now can you see this? What can you see here? He said, just a half pot, sir. Then he said, people who tell lies, they are just as this. Because the half-filled cup, you can't do much, can you? You can't even wash the feet. Said they are just like that. So they are useless. And then he threw that water away. And the next time what he did was he turned it upside down. And he said, Rahula, now look at that. So he said, it's turned upside down, sir. And he said, people who tell lies they are just useless because there's nothing, isn't it? When you put it upside down, there's no water in it. So it's just like that. So now here after that the Buddha says, now a person who lies can get up to a lot of bad misbehave. So to protect one lie, a person has to tell how many lies? 2 lies, 3 lies, because you have to protect yourself from the first. So you tell many lies. And then when you do misdeeds, when you do wrong things, then also you tend to lie. So that becomes a habit, isn't it? It becomes a habit. So he said, hereafter, Rahula, if you happen to tell a lie, you have to confess. Either you have to come and tell me, or you have to come and talk to one of the elder Sangha and confess yourself and say that you did a lie and that you will not do it once again, right? So if little children, young children, now when you also try and remember that lying is very bad and also you are breaking a precept, aren't you? One of the precepts is what? Not to tell lies, no? Yeah. So you have to remember that lying is you are breaking a precept. Because a liar can get up to anything, any bad thing, right? So that is one story of Venerable Rahula. And he was such an obedient monk. Early morning his duty was, as soon as he wakes up, he must be having his morning tea, and then after taking a shower, and then he has to fetch water. He has to fetch water to the Buddha and his teacher. Who was his teacher? Do you remember? Venerable Sariputta was his teacher. So he pours water for them to take a wash, and then after that he sweeps the yard. He takes an equal broom and he sweeps the yard. And when he's sweeping the yard, so he's very obedient. So if someone asks him, can you please help me? He used to do that. He used to help others. Then one day, another monk had put some dirt and then some rubbish in the yard, and he had accused Venerable Rahula for that, saying that Venerable Rahula didn't do it right. He has left some dirt in the garden. So when Venerable Rahula heard that, he didn't mind. You know, what would we do if we hear something like that? Would you get angry?
Yes.
Sometimes we do, and we might say, no, I didn't do it. It's not my job, or something like that. But Venerable Rahula didn't mind. He slowly went and cleaned that place and put all the rubbish away. So that was one of his good qualities, right? He was very humble. So when the time came that, the Buddha placed his great 80 disciples, the Buddha had 80 great disciples. So Venerable Rahula was placed as the most obedient bhikkhu in the Buddha's dispensation, right? So that was the great story of Venerable Rahula. So by listening and learning these stories, these young children must understand that these are the good qualities that we should develop in our mind, right? So breaking the precepts are not good for you, because once you tell a lie and once you steal or if you kill animals, they are bad mental states and they don't bring happiness to you. So if you do attend to any of these bad qualities, what happens is your mind is not clear. You can't be happy. So if you want to lead a happy and a good life, you must stick to the 5 precepts. Alright? So a person who practices these 5 precepts is a very, very calm and a happy person. So not only yourself, that happiness that you gain, you can give it to others as well. Because the reason is, when you have your virtues and when you practice them, that gives happiness to your family members, your parents, your sisters and brothers, right? And not only them, to all those people who associate you, that gives happiness to others and to a lot of people whom you come across. Okay, so that is very important that we stick to these precepts, and this is why Buddha gave us these 5 precepts, so that we can be protected. Not just because of any other thing. It is for your own protection that the Buddha asks you to practice these 5 precepts. So young children must remember that if you break any of them, you should understand, you have to think about yourself, and then you have to come and talk to an elder person and then not to do it again. Like the way the Buddha taught Venerable Rahula. Buddha loved his own son, but he loved all other sons and daughters the same way he did his own son, right? So he left to become a monk, to become a Buddha, not only because he loved his own son, but also he wanted to help all the other children, all other girls and boys living in the entire world, so that they can lead a good life, so that they can eradicate their deform, get rid of their bad qualities, and learn this Dhamma. Understand? So, until what time can I go? Okay.
15 minutes.
All right. Okay. So, right.
You can have 15 minutes and then I will give them.
Alright. Okay, so now I'll tell you one more thing before we finish off. There is a Dhammapada. Have you heard of Dhammapada? It's the sayings of the Buddha, the short sayings of the Buddha, and they are in the Pali canon. The first stanza in the Dhammapada says, Mano pubbangama dhamma mano setta manomaya manasache paduttena basativa karotiva. Now this is a very important stanza and a very important message given to you by the Buddha. Now here Buddha says, mind, mano is mind. Mind is the forerunner of all evil things. The first one says, mind is the forerunner of all evil things. What does that mean? They are mind-made, are they? So mind has the capacity to do evil and good. So if you do any evil act, it will follow you, just as, you have seen the bullock carts in Sri Lanka? Bullock carts? Just like the wheel of the cart that follows the bull, like the ox. That is the simile Buddha has given. So, the bullock carries this heavy load and it's very heavy at the back, isn't it? But do you think he can take it out, remove it, the heavy load? The bullock can? How does he do it?
He goes underneath the slip that holds it.
Can he?
No.
No, he can't. So if you do anything evil or bad, it will be just coming behind you, just like the wheel that follows the ox. Yeah? Yeah. So now the next one, Buddha says, Mano Pubbangama Dhamma, Mano Setta Manomaya, Manasache Pasannena, Basativa Karotiva. So if you do any good action, any good, that will come after you just as what? Just as the shadow that comes after you. Very good. So it follows you just as the shadow that never leaves you. Right? So now remember that. Bad karma, bad things come after you just like the wheel that follows the bull. And the good ones come after you just like the shadow. So now there it teaches the karma. Right? The good and the bad. So we have to make sure that whatever the thoughts that we have, always we must learn to convert them into wholesome or unwholesome thoughts. Wholesome or unwholesome? Wholesome. Right. So what is wholesome? What do you know about wholesome? What is a wholesome action? Now here the Buddha says to Bhikkhu Rahula, now the Buddha teaches this also to Bhikkhu Rahula. He says, Rahula, if whatever that you perform, if it is good for you, and if it is good for the others, and if it is good for you and the others, then go ahead. That action is good. Right? Then he said, Rahula, if any action that you perform is not good for you, and if it is not good for the others, and if it is not good for you and the others, don't do that. Alright, that is a very simple way, the way he taught Bhikkhu Rahula. So now remember, if anything is good for you and good for the others, then go ahead. I'm going to ask you questions now. Try and remember, right? So if anything is not good for you and not good for the others, then don't do it. So the wholesome and unwholesome, I will teach you now. The wholesome qualities are, the roots are non-greed, non-hatred, and non-delusion. What is it? Non-greed, non-hatred, and non-delusion. So let us say the opposite of them. What is the opposite of greed? Generosity. What is the opposite of greed? Generosity. What is the opposite of anger? Loving kindness. Right? Loving kindness. What is the opposite of delusion? Delusion is ignorance. It's wisdom. Right? Wisdom is the knowledge that you have not to do the unwholesome things. That's the knowledge. And the deeper knowledge is the understanding of the Four Noble Truths. Right? So, now you know what is wholesome and what is unwholesome. Right? So, that way we have to see that if your mind is the forerunner of all evil and good things, then what do you think we should be practicing? Wholesome things, no? So how can we practice these wholesome things?
Doing good stuff and not breaking the 5 precepts.
Yeah, very good. So doing good stuff, not breaking the 5 precepts, and then what else, Buddha? What about generosity?
I don't know.
Generosity is giving, sharing, using good words, making others happy, teaching them good things. That is generosity, and also giving, right? So Buddha said, human mind is always affected with greed, hatred and delusion. Most of the time, you can see it yourself. Look at yourself, your thoughts and your mind, and see whether they are wholesome or not. Now you know wholesome and unwholesome, to distinguish between wholesome and unwholesome. So you look at your mind and see whether your thoughts are good or bad, right? That is why he advocated for us to practice generosity, loving kindness, and wisdom. Right? Sila, Dana, Sila, Bhavana. So what does this say? Start with Dana, Sila, Bhavana. So that is the opposite of those bad skills. Right? So now when you practice Dana, Sila, Bhavana gradually, you will get into this eightfold noble path. The eightfold noble path has Sila, Samadhi, Prajna. Sila, Samadhi, Prajna means virtues. Samadhi is concentration or stillness. And Prajna is wisdom. So this is the path to Buddha's teaching. Right? So now girls and boys, now in your daily life, I would like you to begin thinking about these wholesome things and unwholesome things. Because our mind is very easy and mind likes bad things. Thinking about anger all the time, over and over and over and over. The mind likes to think about sensual pleasures over and over and over. Now when these things happen, what do you think we should do? We should understand that these things are not good for us. And then gradually you have to try and shift your attention. So to get into that level, you have to listen to Dhamma. Without listening to Dhamma, there is no way that you can tread in this noble eightfold path. And there is no salvation for anybody. No salvation for anyone. Right? You know there are 31 realms of existence according to Buddhism. Have you heard of that? 31 realms of existence according to Buddhism. Right? So we can be born anywhere after we die. You know, one day you know that we have to die. Do you know that? You die. We all die. Okay. And then do you know what happens then after that?
You suffer your karma.
Very good. You suffer your karma. So good karma gives you good results. Bad karma gives you bad results. So what happens is at the time of death, according to Abhidhamma, at the time of death, the last thought that you have decides where you are going to be born. So if you are a person who has been practicing these good qualities, if you had been practicing metta meditation, and you have been practicing these good things, generosity, loving kindness, and things related to wisdom with knowledge, and then you can be born in a good realm. Otherwise, most of the people, Buddha showed a little sand he took to his fingernail and said, look at this and look at the sand on earth. Which is more? The one in the fingertip or on earth? The whole world. Which is more? That is more. So only this much will be born as human. Right? In happier realms. Others will be in the lower realms, in the many suffering states. Okay? So as Buddhists now, we have been we have been born with lot of intelligence. Why? You have been born to Buddhist parents, don't you? You should consider yourselves very lucky. And we have temples. We have opportunities to listen to Dhamma. So practice these good skills from your very young age, right? And if you all can come to these 8 precept days. We teach really well on the 8 precept days, and we practice short meditation sessions as well. So you practice metta bhavana every night before you go to sleep while in bed. You can do that for 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Just recollect, right? And you can do the metta bhavana, metta meditation and say, may I be well, happy and peaceful. And then before you wake up, right, bring your attention to metta. May I be well, happy and peaceful. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Right? So may I be well, happy and peaceful. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful, right? You can start with that and then you can progress from there onwards. So there was one more thing about Bhikkhu Rahula. I forgot to tell you that. You know, every morning he takes sand, handful of sand, and he throws it up. Why do you think he does that? And he says, may I get advice from the elders as much as this sand. See what a good thing? See how good he was? And sometimes, you know, we don't like to get advice from others because we have this ego. The pride in us is very, very bad. Sometimes this pride can affect us. And because of that, we can do a lot of other evil things. Why do you think this ego comes? What is the cause of ego? Do you know the meaning of ego? The pride, yeah? Yeah, why does it? Do you know? Because we hold to our self-identity. It's mine, myself. So we hold on to this self-identity. And because of that, you have this ego and pride. So what you need to do is try and reduce the ego that you have in you, right? Then your mind can be very clear, so you can understand the Dhamma. So you can practice according to the Dhamma, right? So I will give you some time for questions and answers. This is a good time if you have any doubts, if you want to know anything about Buddhism, any question, you can ask, okay? Rahula, then about the Buddha's teaching. This is the time you can ask now. Or shall I ask you questions? Have you been listening well? Have you been listening well? Let us see whether you have been listening, huh? Okay, now I'm going to ask you, right, if you have been listening, Okay, sit down nice and straight. Now it's a different day altogether, isn't it? Today it's a different day altogether because other days you wear different colors, different costumes, and you have parties and full of other things, but today is a very simple day, isn't it? It's very simple. See, Buddhism is very simple. And I'll ask you a question. Do you know what is Buddhism? If someone asks you, what is Buddhism? What's the answer you are going to give? I like everyone to be quiet, listening. So that shows that you have concern, right? Your concern.
Which is the Buddha's teaching.
Buddhism is Buddha's teaching. But some people call it a religion.
It's something about telling you what like good deeds and bad deeds.
Good, it's about life, isn't it? Now see, in the Little Oxford Dictionary, you all have dictionaries, don't you? Yeah. Okay, you go home and see in the Little Oxford Dictionary, religion is defined in a different way, yeah?
Buddhism is an altruistic cult in the world.
Okay. Right, good. Okay. Right, Buddhism, I'll tell you what Buddhism is, right? Now, no, I'm not talking until you finish. Sit down nicely and eyes this way. Boys. Right, facing this way nicely. All of you, turn this side, turn around. If you are a good Buddhist, you have to show a lot of respect to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. You have to face this side. When someone is preaching the Dhamma, you have to show a lot of respect. You see? That's why when children come to the Dhamma hall to take the precepts, I ask them not to talk because that shows that you don't care for the triple gem. Right? So you have to show a lot of respect when you are listening to the teachings, right? So we were talking about Buddhism, right? So in the Little Oxford Dictionary, it talks about the God, the set of rules governed by the God. So now Buddhism doesn't talk about that, isn't it? We don't have set of rules governed by the God. And that's how they define religion. So Buddhism is not a religion. Then philosophy. Some say it's a philosophy. But philosophy deals with knowledge, right? Even though it has some roots, philosophy doesn't talk about practice. Buddhism talks about practice, and not only practice, realization, right? So Buddhism is a way of life. Understand? It's a way of life. It teaches all good ethics, how to lead a good life for young children, for the adult, young adults, then for young families, and to elderly families, to monks and nuns. It teaches all good ethics, how to live well. So if person lives according to the Buddhist ethics, that person can lead a very good and a happier life. Very happy life. Alright, so you all have to understand this. So Buddhism is a way of life, and Buddhism teaches you how to live well and how to live happy. Alright? So any other, can I ask you some more questions of what we learned from this session? About right. So how should you treat your parents? Respect. Very good. So when they ask you something, are you going to ignore? No. Yeah. So you have to help your parents. I know a lot of children who come to our Dhamma school. I ask them, when they attend the SIL programs, I ask them, and they say that they do a lot of things at home. Not big things, but small things. That all matters. No? Right, very good. And then when your parents ask you not to do that, you have to listen to them, because they have lifelong experience, not like you. They have learned everything throughout their life, so they know what is good and what is right for you. Okay? So you have to listen to the elders, and that is very important. Okay, I know our children are very good children here. And when a teacher teaches you, or a monk or a nun, and if their parents or elders tell them not to do that, they don't do it, isn't it? Very good children. Sri Lankan children are very good. Okay? And also you must come to the temple with your parents. Come and listen to Dhamma. Observe SIL. Because make your life valuable. Because being born as a human is a very rare thing, Buddha has said it's a very rare thing. So you have got a rare opportunity to be born as a human. And then this is the time you have been born at a time where Buddha's teaching is available. There will be errands and errands of years that there won't be any Buddha's teaching available. There is no Sangha, so you can't hear the Buddha's teaching. But everything is there now. And you have been born to good families, Buddhist families. So that's another reason. And also, the Dhamma is available, and your mind, your brains are very good, aren't they? Your intelligence. So that is another factor to think about. So when you have the intelligence and when you have the knowledge, you have to make use of that knowledge, make use of that intelligence to do good things. Right? So remember, mind is the forerunner of all good and evil. And even Buddha said the mind is malleable and pliable. Malleable means it's like very soft. You can turn it the way you want. The mind can be trained the way you want. So you train it in the wholesome way, in the good way, right? So now I'll ask you to finish off. What is wholesome? What are wholesome actions? Yeah?
Good deeds.
Good deeds. What are they?
The 5 precepts.
The 5 precepts. Okay, good. What are the things? If you say the wholesome roots derive from generosity, loving kindness, and wisdom. What is it? What are they? Generosity, loving kindness, and wisdom. And then the unwholesome roots? Greed, hatred, and delusion. Okay. Right. So now we have to avoid those bad qualities and then develop the good qualities of the heart. And what are the good qualities of the heart? I told you the 4 Brahma Viharas: loving kindness, compassion, altruistic joy or joy for others, and equanimity. What are they? Loving kindness, compassion, joy for others, and equanimity. Right? So they are the 4 Brahma Viharas. So we have to practice those 4 Brahma Viharas. Okay? So always when you are when you have free time, look at your own mind. Look at your own mind and see whether try to understand your mind, whether they are focused on the bad qualities or on the good qualities. Right? Do you have loving kindness thoughts in your mind always? Or do I have angry thoughts in my mind always? So if you are having angry thoughts throughout your day, that means they are unwholesome. Unwholesome thoughts are growing in your mind. Then you have to think about it and then you have to switch over to a wholesome action. Right? So this is how people train their mind. And also training the mind, you need to meditate a little bit. Because when you meditate, you can see your mind very clearly. So then you can take any action without going into extremes. Right? So training the mind is very important. So I hope today you have understood a little of Buddha's Dhamma and about the Venerable Rahula's great qualities. Then also we spoke about the Brahma Viharas and also we spoke about the parents also have these great qualities in them. And also we spoke about the mind, about our mind, which is the forerunner of all good and evil things. Right? So I hope this session have taught you good lessons, good Buddhist ethics, so that you can remember them and you can practice them. But listening to Dhamma once is not enough. You have to listen to Dhamma very often. You see? Quite often. Not only for young, also to the adults. You have to listen, then only your mind sets unwholesome things. Otherwise, with the normal life, with the normal flow of thoughts and other things that you attend to, you can't develop a wholesome thought, set of mind. So you have to listen to Dhamma very often. Okay? Only when you listen to Dhamma only, you can train your mind and you can change your behavior. So, before we forget, I'd like to tell you a small, the Dhammapada, Gatha, it comes in the Dhammapada. The thought manifests as the word. That means the thought creates a word, isn't it? Always the thought creates a word. And then the word creates a deed. So deed develops into habit. All your good deeds or bad deeds develop into habits. And then habit hardens in character. Habit hardens in character. So watch the thoughts and its ways with care. And then the Buddha says, and let it spring out of love. Let it spring out of love. Born out of concern for all beings, as the shadow follows the body, as we think, so we become. So your In other words, what happens? Your thought becomes a word, and then the word becomes action, and then the deed becomes your character. Understand that? So if you want to develop a good character, what should you do? Think about Mano Pubbangama Dhamma. The mind is the forerunner of all good and evil things. So you have to watch your mind, because the mind, the thoughts give the words give the deeds, and the deeds developing character. Alright? So to end that, so you have to try and understand those small things that I taught you today, right? So we want to do meditation. Alright, okay. So we sit down nicely. We are going to do a small session of loving kindness meditation, right? In order to do loving kindness meditation, you need to cross your legs and sit up nicely with your right palm on your left. You have to sit on the floor. You have to sit on the floor, Buddha. You. Right. Sit down nicely. See how that little Nangi, she's sitting beautifully. That one at the back, she's very young. But the older ones are still waiting. Face this side and sit nicely. I think you all should come to the Dhamma school. No? Then we can train them. Looks like you're far, far away. Face this side. This side. Okay. So now sit up nicely. Have your eyes closed. Right palm on your left. Now I'm going to repeat some lines, and you're going to absorb its meaning, right? Okay. So now you think, you imagine that you're sitting in front of a mirror and seeing yourself in a happy mood. So keep your hands in your lap. See, some people are not following instructions. Keep your hands in your lap. The right palm on your left. Good. And have your eyes closed. Right, now I'm going to repeat that. Now look at yourself in a mirror as if you're looking at a mirror in a happy mood. Right? Now think of all the good things that you have done in your life. All good things. Being generous, being kind, friendly, helping people, helping your moms and dads, using nice words, kind words, sharing things, all those good things, bring them all into your mind, right? And then wish this for yourself. And may I be well, happy and peaceful. May I be well, happy and peaceful. May I be free from anger, fear and danger. May I be free from anger, fear and danger. May I be able to look after myself happily. May I be well, happy and peaceful. May I be free from anger, fear and danger. May I be able to look after myself happily. Now, the love that you develop to yourself, now you can give it out to the others. Just as myself, may all beings in the entire universe be well, happy and peaceful. May all beings in the entire universe be well, happy and peaceful. May they be free from fear, anger and danger. May they be free from fear, anger and danger. May they be able to look after themselves happily. May all beings in the entire universe, whom we can see, whom we cannot see, who are living in the faraway places, and also those beings who fly in the air above, and those beings swim in the water. May all those beings be well, happy and peaceful. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. May all beings be able to end suffering. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Right now let us pass the merits that we generated today to the guardian devas. May the guardian devas and nagas receive these merits, be well and happy, and be able to attain Nibbana. May they protect the Buddha's dispensation, and may they protect all of us. Akasatta Shabummatta Devanaga Mahittika Punyantam Anumoditva Chiran Rakkantu Sasanam. Akasatta Shabummatta Devanaga Mahittika Punyantam Anumoditva Chiran Rakkantu Desanam. Akasatta Shabummatta Devanaga Mahittika Punyantam Anumoditva Chiran Rakkantu no Sada. So let us pass all the merits that we generated today to our dearly departed relatives, and also especially we pass these merits to Hiruna and Senari's grandpa, who passed away 4 years ago, and also to Nuan's uncle, who helped him to attend to his studies. He has helped him quite a lot. So let that uncle also receive these merits, and the father also receive these merits. So wherever, if they can receive these merits, may they be well, happy and peaceful, and be able to attain Nibbana. And also to all those who, our past relatives, those who are present here, so may they also be able to receive these merits if they are able to, and attain Nibbana. So let us pass merits to the departed relatives. Idam me jnatinam hotu sukhita hontu jnatayo. Idam me jnatinam hotu sukhita hontu jnatayo. Idam me jnatinam hotu sukhita hontu jnatayo. And finally, let us to the merits that we acquired today, to this Dhamma talk, and also this auntie, Auntie Cynthia and Uncle Nuan has done a big thing and act of generosity here today. So we wish that all these merits be passed on to her, Nuan's dad, and also to that uncle who helped him to do his education. And also we wish that all of you who join, and the family of this Cynthia auntie, Nuan, and the two children, Hiruna and Sanari, and all other friends who are present today, and their moms and dad, may you all be well, happy and peaceful. May you all be able to understand the Buddha's noble teaching and attend to good acts of generosity, loving kindness and wisdom. And in the end, be able to understand the Four Noble Truths and attain Nibbana. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And may I wish you all to do well in your studies. We gain wisdom, understand the reality of nature, and lead a good life, attend to your education and everything. And also auntie and uncle and the two children here, we wish them all very well, and may they lead a peaceful life, a very happy life, through the Buddha's, according to the Buddha's teaching, and may they realize and attain Nibbana. And also I will say that in Sinhalese, මේ නුවන්ගේ ආදරණීය පියාණන් ටත් අපි මේ පින් අනුමෝදන් කරනවා. ඒ වගේම බාප්පා අපිට නුවන්ට ඉගෙනීමේ කටයුතු කරගන්නට ඒ උපකාර වූ ආදරණීය බාප්පාට මේ පින් අයිති වෙනවා. ඒ වගේම මේ නුවන්ගේ සින්තියාගේ මේ හිරුණා ඇන්සනරි පුතාටත් ඒ පවුලේ අයට නිදුක් නිරෝගී දීර්ඝායුෂ වේවා. කරන කියන කටයුතු රැකී ආරක්ෂා ව්‍යාපාර සියල්ලක්ම සාර්ථක වේවා. ඒ සියලු දෙනාගේම රැකියා ආදී ඊටමත් උසස් අන්දමින් කරගෙන මේ ජීවිතේ ඊටමත් දහමට යොමු කරලා දැහැමි ජීවිතයක් ගත කරමින් ඒ වගේම ඒ පවුලේ අයගේ දෙමාපියන්වත් අපි මේ වෙලාවේ සිහිපත් කරගනිමු. ඒ මේ අපේ මේ සින්තියාගේ අම්මා මම දන්නවා ඉස්සර ඉඳන් මං කිහි කාලේ ඉඳන් මම පන්සලේ වැඩ කරනකොට මේ දෙන්නත් ඇවිල්ලා මට උදව් වෙනවා. බලන්න කොච්චර හොඳද කියලා. මේ හැබදාම ඔය ගිහාම පන්සලේ මං ගිහි කාලේ අපි ශ්‍රමදාන කරනකොට මේ දෙන්නත් හැමදාම ඉන්නවා. ඉඳලා මං කරන ඒවට මල් හදන ඒවට මට හරියට උදව් කරනවා. ඉතින් ඒවා හරිය හොඳයි. that is act of generosity. right? ඉතින් අපි හරිය සන්තෝෂ වෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒ හොඳ මාර්ගයකට ගිහිල්ලා බුදු දහමත් සමගම හිතාමත් හොඳට තමන්ගේ ජීවිතය ආලෝකමත් කරගන්න නිසා ඉතින් අපි ඒ සියලු දෙනාටම අපි සැප ප්‍රාර්ථනා කළා. අද මේ පැමිණ සිට සියලු දෙනාටත් මිතුරු මිත්‍රයන්ටත් සියලු දෙනාටම නිදුක් නිරෝගී දීර්ඝායුෂ ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරමින් සියලු දෙනාට මේ චතුරාර්ය සත්‍ය අවබෝධ කරගෙන සියලු දෙනාගේම ජීවිත යහපත් ජීවිත බවට පත් කරගන්නට මේ අද කරගත්තා වූ ඒ සියලුම කුසල් හේතු ආසනාව වේවා. දෙමාපියන් සියලු දෙනාට